Welcome to the Psychology of Humans. Today we're diving into one of the most frustrating parts of personal growth. Why your brain absolutely hates slow progress, and why that resistance keeps you stuck, quitting early, or constantly starting over. Most people think they lack discipline, but the truth? You don't lack discipline. Your brain is simply wired to resist anything that doesn't produce fast, noticeable rewards. Once you understand why this happens, and how to flip that wiring in your favor, you'll suddenly be able to stick to goals you've struggled with for years. So today, we're going deep into why your brain demands instant results, the evolutionary roots of impatience, why slow progress feels like failure, the psychology behind giving up too early, and the rewiring technique that finally makes slow progress feel rewarding. Your brain has one primary job: survive with the least amount of energy possible. This isn't about laziness, it's about biology. Back when humans lived in harsh environments, wasting energy could literally mean death. Your brain evolved to prefer any path that felt immediately beneficial because fast rewards meant safety, food, or protection. And because of that, your modern brain still reacts the same way. You scroll because it gives fast stimulation. You avoid something difficult because it costs energy. You quit things that don't reward you quickly because your brain thinks it's a bad trade. This is why slow progress feels uncomfortable. Your brain interprets it as too much effort for too little reward. So when you're trying to stick to something meaningful, losing weight, learning a skill, saving money, improving your mental health, your brain fights you not because it wants you to fail, but because slow results feel unsafe to an ancient survival system. And here's the problem. All meaningful progress is slow. Confidence grows slowly, skills develop slowly, habits strengthen slowly, bodies change slowly, careers evolve slowly, relationships build slowly. Slow is not the exception, it's the rule. But your brain is biologically wired for the opposite. This is the silent battle inside every human, a survival brain that demands fast rewards versus a modern life that requires patience. And this mismatch is why you start goals but can't maintain them. You expect too much too soon. Small improvements feel invisible. You underestimate long-term change. Now let's look at something important. Your brain measures progress emotionally, not logically. You can objectively be improving, reading more, eating healthier, saving money, learning something, but if the progress doesn't produce a feeling, your brain won't label it as successful. So even when you're on the right path, your brain doesn't reward you for it. This is why you quit just as things are actually starting to work. Your brain says, too slow, not worth it. This isn't giving us anything. And so you stop. The irony is brutal. You quit right before you would have seen the real payoff. This is why your life has repeated patterns where you start strong, slow down, lose motivation, and abandon things just before they begin to transform you. It's not that you can't grow, it's that your brain refuses to celebrate slow growth. But here's where things get interesting. There's a psychological phenomenon called reward prediction error. Your brain gets the biggest dopamine spike when something turns out better than expected. This means your brain doesn't reward you for doing things that feel predictable or obvious. It rewards you for things that feel surprisingly good. This is why slow progress feels unrewarding. Your expectations are too high. You expect transformation. What you get is a small step, and small steps don't feel surprising. But here's the hack. If you lower your expectation of what progress should look like, every small step becomes rewarding. Your brain gives you dopamine for the small win, because now the small win exceeds your expectation. This is how you break the impatience trap. You don't try to change your biology. You change the way your brain interprets progress. Humans massively underestimate something called the compounding effect of boring actions. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Your future is determined by what you do consistently, not by what you do intensely. Consistency feels boring. Intensity feels exciting. Your brain wants excitement. Success requires boredom. Think about these. Reading 10 pages a day feels pointless. Until a year later, you've read 12 books. Saving a tiny amount feels insignificant. Until you look back and realize how much it adds up. Going on a 20-minute walk feels small. Until months later, your energy, weight, and mood have changed. Learning a skill for 15 minutes a day feels like nothing. Until suddenly, you're good at it. The human mind is terrible at imagining compound growth. It overestimates what can happen in a week and massively underestimates what can happen in a year. So you look at the tiny step you took today and think, what's the point? But every transformation you admire was built on that same tiny step repeated over and over again. Your brain dismisses it. Your future depends on it. Now, let's address the biggest psychological roadblock of all, the identity gap. You hold two versions of yourself, the one you want to be and the one your brain is comfortable being. These two identities are often in conflict. When you try to change, your desired identity tries to move forward, but your comfortable identity pulls you backwards. Your comfortable identity says, this isn't you. This doesn't feel familiar. Let's go back to what we know. This is why discomfort appears the moment you try to improve yourself. It's not the task itself, it's the identity shift your brain resists. Your brain wants identity consistency more than it wants success. To overcome this, you have to make your desired identity feel more familiar than your current one. And that only happens through repetition, not intensity, not perfection, not dramatic change. Repetition, every time you show up, even in a small way. You tell your brain, this is who I am now, and eventually, your brain believes you. So how do you actually rewire your brain to embrace slow progress? Here's the method. Step 1. Expect your progress to feel invisible. When slow progress feels normal, you stop interpreting it as failure. Step 2. Count the reps, not the results. Progress is a side effect of consistent repetition. Step 3. Make the bar extremely low. If the action feels easy, your brain won't resist it. Step 4. Celebrate the small win intentionally. You must give your brain a feeling of success, or it will never reward the behavior. Step 5. Stop tracking how far you have left. Track how far you've already come, even if it's small. This is how you turn slow progress into something your brain actually enjoys. And when your brain enjoys something, you don't stop. The reason people who succeed seem disciplined is not because they're stronger than you. It's because they've rewired their brain to associate consistency with reward. They don't win because they're better. They win because they're patient. They win because they stopped quitting early. They win because they respected the compounding of small actions, and you can do the same. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not slow. You are simply human. Slow progress isn't a problem. Giving up on slow progress is to rewire that instinct, and your entire life changes. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.